Hello and welcome to this video, which we're going to look at the pencil tool. Like it says there, the pencil tool is a little bit more intuitive than the pen tool. It works kind of like a pencil. So we're going to look at where that is. We're going to look at a few of the adjustments that we could do. And then we'll take this image and we'll just play around and see how we can use that pencil tool to sort of, maybe liven up or whatever this image here. So first thing we'll do, there is an image, background image. So you can save as, and I've saved it already there, so the pencil tool JPEG, we can save it in there, yes. And then we'll go to Illustrator. Okay, whatever. There, let me just do a new one. File new. I forgot to place it in the background in that image. Create. So there's that. Would you like to? No. Okay. And then I'm going to go File, Place, and make sure that you click on this one and place it as a template, place. And it is really large, so I forgot how large this was. So this is an issue. What I'll do is I'm going to go to my layers panel. I'm going to unlock my layers panel so that I can make this smaller. And I'm just going to use my selection tool, hold shift down, and get it so it's roughly, I don't know what that's doing. It keeps bugging me there. And just throw that in there. Okay, so that should be good enough. Okay, probably could have made it a little bit, oops, there we are. Could have made it a little bit different image, but that's okay. I'm actually going to double click on this as well. Since we're not really using it as a template per se, I'm going to, instead of dimming it, I'm going to make it full. There we go. Okay, so we're actually, still going to work on this layer above. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Anyways, we're going to work on this layer above, and the pencil tool is hiding sort of over here under the pen tool. No, not under the pen tool, sorry, under the, let's just find it here, under the brush. Nope. We got to find it somewhere here. And I hate the way this keeps blinking when I do this, but it is sitting there. Where did it say it was again? It's always tricky here. So it is under, it is under the shaper tool. Okay, so let's find that there. So the shaper tool is right there. There we go. Now, like I said, if you double click on it, it does bring up this little panel here, and you can choose how much it helps you smooth things. So this would follow exactly your mouse movements. This would smooth them out. Probably with a mouse you want it on as high smooth as you can get, although you can see, depending on how good you are. And then also, even if you're using a pen, right, a tablet pen, you might want to, dial that back a bit, but you probably do want a bit of smoothness on it. Now, the other little important thing there was, so yeah, that's the fidelity slider. So this one you can double click. Okay, so we'll turn off the keep selected option to ensure the pencil tool doesn't replace lines that are drawn, especially when they're very close. So we're going to make sure that we turn the keep selected option off. So let's just make sure we do that. Keep selected option, we'll turn that off. So now with this pen tool, right, or pencil tool, we can just sort of create some lines. Now I've got a fill on it, so let's turn off the fill as well. There we go. Let's just redraw this. I'll get rid of this guy. And so just to sort of show you what we'll do here, take our shoes, just draw some lines. We're just trying to liven it up a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll look at the panel here and see some different things that we can, play around with a bit. So just, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but something. So let me grab my pencil tool again. So again, I'm just sort of drawing some lines. I'm going to try to, and it's turn the fill back on. So let me just turn that off. And actually, I'm going to set my stroke to white as well. And you can pop up the thickness of it too, because it's going to be a little thin. So I'll get rid of that. Let's try this again. So pencil tool. Every time I turn that on, it's interesting that it does reset it, which I wouldn't think it was doing. So I'm just going to do it one more time. Turn that to white. There we go. And then just try to draw here. So again, just trying to do a little bit like what it is there. And you can see how it sort of smooths it out a little bit. So yeah, I'm just putting some lines in there. So something like that. Again, the exact doesn't really matter. I think I've done it quite a bit bigger. Now, what you can do, if I select all of them, we can change them all at the same time. So I'm just going to put a big box around them, select them all. In the stroke here, there are some different options. And so one of them is you can choose the different end of the thing. So this one here is called the butt cap, which is just truncated. If you go for the rounded cap, you can see, just zoom in a little bit there. The ends are smoother now, right? They've got that sort of rounded end. And then also you could do the extended cap or projecting cap, which just sort of pushes it beyond the line. I don't really have any corners here, so that's not going to do anything, but you could change how the corners look. The aligned stroke is a little bit odd. It just sort of moves it, and I don't know where you'd really, I guess it doesn't work on this section, moves it sort of down or up on the edge of that. Now you can also change the profile. So that's what I've done here. I think this one, yeah. So that's sort of in and out. Where's the one? There we are. So here, you can definitely see, if I zoom out, sort of this thickness one way to the other. And you can swap the ends there. So if you use this little arrow, it will choose to go from, I started here. So there was some purpose sort of starting here and going out. It's like a pen stroke, even though we're using the pencil tool, that where it's sort of thicker and then it gets into the thinner. So that width profile here we can play around with. So yeah, so you can either see it in here, okay, and there's the same thing, or it's in there as well. And you can, like I said, try these different ones, see what they're like, and just get a feel for what they are. But I think we've used this one here and then reversed it. Good. Yeah, and you can obviously increase the thickness there of them. And so you've got like that. I do have one, I think it is a little bit, my drawing, it's a little bit thicker at the front. I don't know if I see that one because that does that. That's not what we want. Yeah, I don't have the one I think that I had before there, but this one's sort of close enough. And then again, it reversed it, so put that one in there. All right. Arrows, you can do a few things as well with them. So let's just sort of play around with it. So we'll do some more series of lines. So I'll just put these ones at the front. And again, it's just sort of draw what you want. And let's just see. Okay, that time it did keep it, so that's nice. So I think I just did some aerodynamic lines or something. I don't know. Okay, so coming in, and again, we want to make this, I'm going to select these guys. We can put an arrow on it. So again, under the stroke, you can change that here. There's arrowheads. And so there's different styles, obviously, play around. And if they're going the wrong way, again, you can just check this, and now it's going that way. Okay, so yeah, so again, I won't spend too much time. You can play around with that and see which ones you like. I think there is a way to change the size of the arrowhead. I'd have to go in and look. Heads, path, extend tip beyond path. Okay, so that's just that. I think, is that 50%? Nope. I was just trying to see there how, oops, I went too big on that. Let's just try that. No, there is, though, I do recall, some way to reduce, oh, there we are. That's the one, maybe. There we go. So if the arrowheads are too big, you can reduce them there, okay? The last thing I think that I'll show you is just how you could do a dotted line. And so, again, it's not a dash line. So again, not a huge thing here. I'm just going to grab, again, the pencil tool. Make sure, grab it, make sure it's on that again. And then just sort of draw around here. Just sort of create an outline. And again, on that stroke, so there's arrowheads. Oh, dash line, there it is. So I can put a dash line, make sure the arrowheads are off. Arrowheads, none, there we go. I guess it was just my drawing there. The dash line, now there is a little bit, let me make sure that this is selected. Maybe that was my problem. Turn the dash line on, there we go. And there's sort of a little bit that you can do. You can change how big the dash is, and then the gap in between. So by default, I guess let's put a certain amount. If I put let's just make it a smaller one. I think what ends up happening, yes. So by default, if you put 12 here and nothing here, it's 12, 12, 12, right? So now I've made that 5. If I go down on this one, 5 here, you'll notice that it's much smaller. And I believe if you want it almost like a dotted one, so we've got this idea here. So you could do rounded corners and basically make it 0, and that will make it a dotted line. So if I come in here, again, stroke, stroke, and so make sure that's rounded, and then just basically set this, I think, to 0 like I did there. Then it's these little dots, so you've got that look. All right, so that's just some ways to use the pencil tool. Again, if you want to sort of stylize something, put a little bit of, I won't say an annotation, but just sort of an outline, sort of like an artistic thing, the pencil tool works well there.